You need a dose of this.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me once again. It is You Need a Dose of This, and this is my channel. So if you guys haven't done so yet, please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. I'm going to be talking to Mr. Vaghn Coleman today. He's got a book called Phenomenova. I'm holding actually issue number 3 in my hands. This is issue 3. He's kickstarting issue number 4, and this book is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, it's in the name. It's in the name, Phenomenova. So we're going to talk to him a little bit about it today. We're going to go deep dive into the story. I want to show you guys his script because he is incredible with how deep he goes into the script writing process. And I appreciate that as a letterer. I'm sure his artist appreciates that as an artist. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into all of that, some shameless plugs. And again, I said this to you guys on Monday, pun intended, because the shameless plug, which is my book, is going to be for sale at Oakland Comic-Con this weekend. I will be at Oakland Comic-Con. I will be sharing a booth with my nephew, who actually did an exclusive cover for me. There is the exclusive cover he did for the book. It is numbered. You'll see that at the bottom. We only printed 50 of these for the show, so we are selling them at the show. They're numbered, so somebody's going to get one of 50, and we're going to have some fun with it when we're there. Also at the show, I will have the first print run of my Wonder Duck book. So all 8 issues are out. Issue number 8 actually hits stores May 15th. So I will have all 8 issues, first print run of all of them. So make sure you head out to the show and pick that up. So that is that. But I want to bring in Mr. Vaghn Coleman because I want to talk to him about his process, his creative process, how he developed the story. And I've been doing this for a little while, pardon the ums. I've been doing this for a while, so I know how tough it is to put together a comic book, a story that people are going to want to read. And I'm not saying this because I know him. I'm not saying this because I've been lettering the book, but as a letterer, we get first dibs. We get to look inside what they were going to put out. And sometimes I'm afraid of what I'm going to read. But in this case, I was pleasantly surprised to see the level of effort and the level of professionalism, the level of talent that the book possesses. So I am going to bring him in now. Here he is, Mr. Vaghn Coleman. What up, Vaghn?
Nothing much, man. Just been, closing out my campaign. So I guess something. Almost doing it. It's weird. Normally I close out at nights, but this time I launched during the day. And so close out during the day. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's what I've been doing. It's been great working with you. I've never done anything that wasn't lettered by you because it was that first 10-pager we did. Also, it's funny. We've been trying to get this going ever since the first campaign. Yeah, and it just hasn't worked out. So every weekend we're about to do it, it never works out. So finally, we talk. George and I talk all the time. We see each other at cons, but it's just never worked out for streams until now.
Right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. It has never actually worked out. So I'm glad that we're doing this, and it's been actually fun, man, working on your book. And I didn't just say what I said because, obviously I'm working with you, but it really is a good book, man. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, dude, like the site is down right now.
I just refreshed it. It's back.
Oh, it's back.
Already.
Oh, thank God.
That was quick.
All right, good. Yeah, because I was concerned that we weren't going to be able to pull up the campaign. And so I'm glad that it's back. All right, cool. Perfect. Now I got to log on and do all that stuff. But anyway, so yeah, no, it's been a pleasure, man, to work with you. I do want to go into your process, and I do want to go into what the story is about. But before we get into all of that, man, like tell us a little bit about you and how you got into this crazy business of making comics.
Yeah, so I mean, I always wanted to make movies ever since I was a little kid. But funny enough, I came up with this idea as a movie idea. It was like, of course, as a second grader, I was like, I'm going to write in it. I'm going to star in it. I'm going to direct it. Time passed, the idea changed over time. And then I started getting really into animated shows and whatever. I was always into superheroes, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. And I always knew I wanted to do that. And then eventually I thought maybe it'll be better as a series. And then eventually, I went to film school. I was majoring in that. I really wanted to write, direct, act. I always wanted to. And I still do, I still like that stuff, and I still would love to do some work with that. But what happened was, I remember I was writing, and I had this idea kind of came back to me, and I kind of caught the comic bug again, ironically, when I was in film school, but I caught it harder than ever. And I think part of it was seeing a rise in indie comics, and also just being kind of disappointed with certain franchises I like Star Wars and whatever, and kind of wanting, and also just seeing how, when you make movies, you start as a production assistant, and maybe you are a small percentage that gets to actually do it. But if you do your idea, you have to sell it to a studio first. And then they get to do it, and they could take it away from you at any point. And I'm like, that's nice. So I maybe get the chance to sell my ideas to someone who could just water them down or do whatever. And I'm like, or, there's these indie creators that I'm seeing going around and doing their own thing. And around that time, I start reading Chris Claremont's X-Men run.
Right. Yeah.
Giant Size X-Men #1. And then I'm reading the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. It was this version right here. I'd love to get the omnibus eventually. And then I eventually was like, I'm not waiting for the next Epic collection. I'll just bite the bullet, read some digital. And I would occasionally, I'd get some stuff trade, some stuff not. And I would really was like, you know what, this is what I want to do. Cause it was like, suddenly it was everything I wanted. It was like, he would just go from big budget idea to big budget idea to big budget idea and have these compounding storylines and these characters and all these new. And I realized comics is where it's at, man. This is where I get to do all my big ideas. I don't have to water everything down. My first time I crowdfunded actually was in college for a short film I did. And I ended up raising $4,000 for, it was just a short film with 3 characters. One of them is only in one scene or 2 scenes. And it still cost $4,000. It was just a couple of people in an Airbnb. And I was like, dude, I was like, you know what, when you're drawing something, I mean, except for the exception of paying for character designs and drawing stuff, you can just do anything with your imagination, and I could possibly get to own it if I own the company, And I was like, this just seems better all around, and it helps that I'm not writing just as Netflix pitches or as someone who'd rather be making movies. I love this medium, and when I started, it was around that time. My friend who I met at film school, his dad started a comic company called Phenom Comics, and I think I left it downstairs, but I worked on a graphic novel called Hunter Ninja Bear. I didn't know it at the time, but I asked my friend, I'm like, is there any way I can get involved? And so his dad calls me, he goes, oh yeah, this. And I'm just going, yeah, so many creators are doing indie stuff. Chuck Dixon's doing a lot of indie stuff. He goes, oh yeah, you're working on his book. I'm like, are you, of all the writers, that's
wow.
So I start working on that, and I'm reading this as the page is coming in, and it gets to the final chapter, and it's not drawn yet. It's comic script. That was the first time I had ever read a comic script. And I kind of reverse engineered that. And again, the screenwriting format was it's very kind of its own animal, right? It's very corporate, almost how I describe. Not necessarily that there isn't an art to it, there is, but they're like, don't put camera angles, don't put ever. With comic book scripts, one of the weird things about that is it's there's no format exactly. Some people don't even write dialogue and then write it after the fact. Marvel method. Some people do whatever, and I'm like, what? So I kind of had to find my own rhythm, and I kept rewriting and learning the medium. And what I learned quickly was that there's some stuff you can do in a comic book that you can't do in a movie, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that actually deepened my love for both mediums. And because I hit these walls where I was like, I can't do this. I can't just have a long tracking shot. Because I love movies like Halloween with these long tracking shots and long takes. Comics don't work that way. And so again, if I make a movie, I'd love to do as much of that as possible. Comics, that's not how it works. And so it made me a better storyteller and made me realize what I had to do. And I kind of learned the entire production process. It was kind of like with film where I'd had to learn, I don't know anything about lighting. Get someone to light it. I don't know anything about art. Get someone to draw it. I don't know anything about colors. Get someone to color it. I don't
Yeah.
know anything about lettering. There's
Mhm.
George. You know,
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of like knowing your weaknesses and learning how to strength and project manage. So it's a lot of the same fundamentals, but it's different enough. And I've just learned to love it. I've learned to
Yeah.
love it.
No, dude, I love the fact that you said you read the Claremont books and you read all of the, I
Oh,
mean,
I
because
finished the whole run finally.
in Claremont's writing, when you look at it, it's like it's a dialogue heavy,
Mhm.
um, but it's so engaging because
Mhm.
he basically he creates a character that you love. He makes you
Mhm.
fall in love with his character, is what I'm trying to say. And I think
Yeah.
that some of that, a lot of that, I think a lot of that influence you see throughout even the pages of your book. Let me just give a quick shout out to the chat here. Michael
What's up?
Sammartino, what up, man? Let's
How's it
go.
going,
Kevin Davis, what's up? And of course, Mr. Paz Van Sant, Georgia Bonbon,
Pops?
two of Dante's favorite people. What's up, man? It's chaos. Yeah, writing comics is chaos. You
It
mentioned that
is.
you mentioned there is no blueprint, I guess, in
Yeah.
writing comics. So how different do you think? I mean, obviously you went to film school, you learned how to write screenplays and stuff like that. Obviously, you stated some of the differences, right? But when you went into the writing your scripts, did you still in learning use some of the things that you learned writing scripts? And was that
I'm sure
helpful?
it's
Was it not
similar.
helpful? Like what did you think?
I'm sure to some extent it's helpful. It's kind of, I guess, probably somewhere in the bones and whatever, but
Hmm.
I'm not as concerned. I don't really think about it too much, to be honest. I just want to make sure my artist understands what I'm saying,
And that's what
because
it
I'm
is.
writing more for my artist than for when you're writing a script, a screenplay. Like you're writing with the under the assumption that you don't get. There's some deer in my yard that just ran by. There's that you're writing under the assumption that you're giving it to someone else to make, which you are kind of in that sense
Hmm. Hmm.
doing it, but uh you're taught to kind of keep certain details out. And I guess it was kind of like, oh, let's, I could reinsert some of those things like camera angles, but you don't put camera angles in a screenplay ever, unless like
Really?
Tarantino can do it because he's directing it. But
Right.
generally speaking, they drill it in your head. Don't put lighting, like maybe very rarely, but
Hmm.
generally speaking, no. Leave that up to the director, or leave that up to the camera department, leave that up to whatever. And it was kind of like I got to take that freedom back that I had just worked so hard to give up through learning to write screenplays. But I would say the fundamentals of storytelling are still very much there. You
Yeah.
have to keep relearning it and keep relearning it and keep rewriting it. And so the fundamentals of storytelling are going to stay the same. Like I started a screenwriting book in college and I finished it while I was writing. Um, and, uh, and, So I would say you definitely pull from it. I guess subconsciously you see it. Like some people have said my comics read very cinematic. And
Right.
it's funny because I feel like I've gotten less cinematic as I go. Like the more comics I would try to do more of that, but I that's just part of my buildup, you
I
know. So
I
it's always
I
there.
I also think that when you work with an artist for a while, you guys kind of like start trusting each other. And
Yeah.
so you take away some of that stuff. For example, you don't need to put a camera because you kind of want to see what your artist wants to
Yeah, I
do
put
with that.
more of them in issue 1.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that. And big shout out to Mr. Elliot Mondry who's watching. Thank you for watching, Elliot. How you doing, brother?
Mhm.
Lori says I put camera angles all the time in screenplays. And howdy guys, what's up, Lori? So I didn't know that about screenplays, man. I didn't realize that they it was frowned upon to do that.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where I even remember one professor saying that he heard somewhere that from like studio executives, it's to the point where they want things to be as brief as to the point as
Hmm,
possible. They don't want these like
interesting.
in-depth descriptions. Whereas I can go for pages talking about a double page spread if I wanted to, or I could just give like just draw this. I could, whatever. With screenplays, it's like they would even say you want more white space in the page than black space, like meaning text.
Mhm, mhm.
That's they want it to the point.
Yeah.
And that was always interesting to me.
I wanted to show actually for the people watching. I wanted to show. I have the first issue script. Funny enough, what I picked out was a double page splash. is page 4-5 of issue number 1.
Oh, here we go.
For those who haven't checked out the
This
book,
was the most I've ever written for a single
dude.
image.
It was, but this is what I was saying earlier. It's like the level of detail that you threw into this page, because again, it's your first book and you weren't sure exactly what you were going to get, I'm assuming, and so you said, you know, better to be safe than sorry. Let me just throw the kitchen sink
this
at
is the
thing.
beginning. I don't write this much per page anymore usually.
No, I know. All right, hold on. Let's share this bad boy. Let me see if you guys can see it.
Sometimes I wonder if I don't
there
put
it is.
enough sometimes.
Page 4-5, double page. This is the page, and I'm going to show you guys what ended up coming out of this.
Yeah, it was different than what I envisioned.
Right. So, but this is what you threw in there. You had all of this, basic, what you call it, detail. But what I did like about it also was that you threw in some of the references, and I think that this is very important for a writer to do for an artist, because it allows them to kind of get into your head and see what you're seeing. And you added this in the first issue, especially. You sprinkled a lot of this throughout the book, which I thought was great. Like, and I'll be honest with you, like when you send it to me, I was like, holy cow, this is a lot. This is a lot in here. But I think that
you were like, oh, I don't have to letter any of that, thank God.
But it worked out, because this is what we ended up getting out of all of those descriptions. And it's this. Right now, I
remember getting that thumbnail, and it was a little different than what I wrote, but it captured everything I needed. There's like one detail I remember that's missing, but it's better off without it. And it was
it's amazing, dude. It's incredible. Like, just the detail, and obviously the coloring, enhanced it.
The coloring blew it up. Yeah,
blew it away. Like, I'm sure the pencils were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's the fear, because sometimes colorists can kill a page that looks amazing.
I have yet to have that issue, but I still would love to do black and white version at some point, because
this looks insane. This was a double splash page, but that's what I wanted to talk about, was how much detail you put into your script, but then the result that came out of it. So if you're, I guess what I'm saying is, if you're a new writer, put the work in until you get to know your artist, because as you get to know your artist then you guys kind of have a shorthand kind of thing. And you and I had conversations even about how we were going to letter the book, right? And I love those conversations.
That was important, is spending the time with the building blocks. You get frustrated because, like, the 2, we're kind of getting the hang of it. 3 is like, hey, what if we introduce 8 new characters, and also there's silent dialogue? We didn't have that before. Also, we're jumping back and forth through time. We have different characters, different speech bubbles for different, because we have one character, she's narrating her past thoughts while doing, and it was a lot for lettering wise. But here's the thing, we didn't want you to think about any of that when you were reading it. We were talking, how do we make it as easy as the audience as possible? And it's a quick read because of stuff like that.
It is such a quick read, and it is a fun read. I think that you use, and I do want to share more images, because I love the pages, man. I was hooked to the artwork, and then your writing just kind of like just enhanced the whole experience. But here, let me share another page for those watching. This page here, I just, and this is where we're talking about how you went about telling this particular story, because in issue 3, it's being told through one of your characters. She's telling the entire story. And I loved how you handled that. I thought it was fantastic, dude. Tell me about why you went that route in issue 3.
It's been years since I wrote the initial draft, but I kept refining, because I wrote the first, it was 11 issues at one point. Then I condensed the first 3 down into issue 1, which is why issue 1 is such a big issue. So with this one, it was like, I forget how that exactly came about. This idea for it, but I remember Estrella back then, she was called Lady Justice, was one of the later characters I had come up with. And I decided when I was writing, I was like, no, actually we need that kind of detective character here. And I knew, because I was debating like how I wanted to do this whole team thing. I knew the events, but I was like, how do I tell them? And I was like, well, if it's a 4-issue miniseries, because again, 2 was going to be issue 4, because 3 was like 3 different issues. I was like, well, let's just finish up Galvanite's like He learns to be a hero. He finds that spark at the end of 2. And I was like, okay, then we can introduce the team in the next one. And I was like, all right, so but I want the team to be the reactor. If we've moved past it, how do we go back? And I think it was kind of like, well, how we're telling it in terms of what's satisfying the audience. Let Galvanite get to a certain point. Then we'll introduce the newbies. And Estrella had this ability, was a character I come up with, who had this ability where she's blind and deaf, but she could feel the world through physical contact. Like she could touch objects, she could feel the world around her and absorb memories in real time. She could relive memories. And so she's a great detective. And I was like, well, what if we follow her in the present, and then she's reliving those events that we missed out on as the audience? That way we're brought up. That way it's not tech. It's like kind of a flashback, but we're also in the present. And so that was why I decided to tell it that way. That way we wouldn't feel like we're just taking a step back, like we're still progressing forward while stepping back in time. Is, I believe, my original reasoning.
And I think it was a great way of showing and telling at the same time, because they always tell you show don't tell, you know what I mean? But this was a great way of using the medium of comics. And this is what we talked about, like, sometimes we look at comic books like movies, and they're comics.
They can do things we can't. Like I'd have to fundamentally change the way I told this story.
That's right.
Which is fine by me, because here's the thing. Again, I love comics. These aren't Netflix. Sometimes you read stuff, you go, this is a Netflix pitch.
Yeah.
That's not how I write if I never get an adaptation for this and I made great comics, that's okay.
Right.
Because that's why I created this.
Absolutely. And so tell us a little bit about the story itself, man. Like tell us what Phenomenova is, because issue 1, for those who haven't picked it up, when you look at issue 1, you think it's the story of this one kid, right? Who becomes a superhero. But there's more to it than that. So tell us a little bit about what the story is.
So Phenomenova, this was the tough part. Do you know how annoying it is to sell a book called Phenomenova that doesn't have Phenomenova for over a year? Because what happened was issue 1 has, I wanted to make sure we at least saw the main character in action, but the main character's name is not Phenomenova, but it follows this kid, Miles Hanks, who gets struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal. He's the son of a veteran. It's set 20 years after World War III. And he gets lightning powers and super speed. So in my world, superhumans fought during the war. His father also fought during the war. And so now he wants to be like them. And his first mission is he tries to stop a heist at a nuclear reactor, which naturally doesn't go well because he's a dumb kid who just got his powers like the day before. Right. So what we're seeing is kind of he gets taken in by one of the heroes that inspired him, who fought during the war, to train him to join a team called Phenomenova. So in the 3rd issue, we kind of saw from the team's perspective on the heist, because they both interacted with the heist, but they didn't interact with each other directly, at least not consciously. So what we're seeing is basically what we've been building up to. So Miles fails on his own to be a hero, but he wants to be a hero who wants to be trained by one of the veterans that fought during the war, right? It's very aspirational. This 4th issue is important because he finally meets the team. He's finally going to train alongside them to prove that he's worthy and to redeem himself as a hero. That is the goal with issue 4. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of like what we're building up to. It's a very important issue. Like I always say, Phenomenova in an age of deconstruction and cynicism is an optimistic reconstruction and reconstitution of the superhero genre.
I like that.
So that's really what I wanted to do. It's an aspirational story where he's really just trying to be like the heroes he grew up with. Kind of like how we're always trying to be like the writer. We're always, we may never get there, but we're going to try. And that's what I wanted to do with this series.
Yeah, no, and I think you did pun intended, phenomenal job doing that, because I feel like when I read it, after I lettered it, because I don't normally read the books when I'm lettering them. I'm so busy trying to place the balloons where they are. So when I finally got to read the actual book, I was like, wow, this really reads well. And to your point, it's tough to sell a book about a superhero group when the first issue has like a kid on the cover. So everybody thinks
it was a tough part.
By issue 3, so it's funny.
Phenomenova. It's coming. Now it's actually here.
It's funny because by issue 3, everybody thinks that's Miles.
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that? So you're like, no, that this is the group, and this is By the way, dope cover. Love the way you guys did that cover.
Oh,
There.
the issue
That's
3 cover.
issue
Yeah, so
issue
everyone
3.
thought because I had a new blonde character who
Yes.
wore white, which he wasn't. Miles wasn't supposed to wear white, nor Estrella, but the designs came out so well.
Right.
But I'm like, once you see Miles next to Forrest, you're like, yeah, they're two different people. They don't look alike when you see them next to each other.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, let me ask you this: as far as where the story's going, it's an ongoing series. Are you splitting it up into arcs? Like, how are you kind of like releasing it?
Yeah, so the end of I decided, so I've written the first 9 and then I had started 10. I have plans for way more down the road. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. This is the beginning.
Right.
And one of the things I like about 9 or about this was as I was rewriting issue 4, because 3 was I was so happy with it. I'm like, all right, let me touch up 4. And also my editor and I both kind of agreed 4 was the weaker link, but it had the most potential. And so I revised it, made it cooler, added the team fighting against a giant robot instead of just a bunch of power demonstrations, which is what it originally was. And I realized, okay, actually that's kind of like a good it was always a clear, even though it was one storyline, to clear this half and this half. And I kind of further solidified that with this rewrite. And I said, you know what? Screw it. That's volume 1. This is volume 2. So 1 through 4 is the first volume. I want to be technical. It's like a bigger arc that has 2 halves. But also this does work as an arc. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then so it's kind of like the heroes are getting their stuff together. And then let's go back to the villains of 5.
You also have you also the books are pretty thick, man. Like the issue 1 is like a double basically a double book.
It's like a triple.
Triple, yeah, because it's like 64 pages, right?
65 a story, yeah.
Yeah. So
and then issue 2 is 24, and then the standard I'm going for is going to be 28-ish. Like issue 5, I think I'm going to make it 29. I was like, I'm setting the standard with 4, and I'm immediately breaking it with 5, but only by like one page or so.
Right.
Like I want to make it like that's my standard page length is 28, if need be 29, but like 28 is my standard. Basically.
Yeah. Do you find that it's hard to split them up that way?
What do you mean split them up?
Like where you're ending the book. So like, because you want to end it with a nice cliffhanger for them to pick up the next issue. Do you find it tough to do that when you're writing the story? Do you even care? At this point, it's like, I said 28, but if it gets to 32, it is what it is. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, I mean that's the good thing about being indie is I can kind of cop out in that way. Yeah. But I would say 43 is a really weird, which is what issue 3 is. But I was like, you know what? Nope, that's good. That's where it ends. Yeah. And I didn't really give it too much extra thought after that.
Yeah, and you know what? The print is so good. I mean, look, it's a when you goes watching, it's a thick book, man. It's not, and it's a good read. I mean, the pages. I'll go show you guys a page here on the screen.
Yeah, let's see what you show.
You're not going to get, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I bought this book. It was this much. And I read this book in like 2 minutes. And sometimes that's a good thing because it means that the book kind of moved and it read well.
Yeah, that's sometimes the tough part is I spend all this time and people are like, all right, it's like months of work with us.
No, but look at this page. You see that page right there? Like, there's a lot of story in this book, guys. Like there really is. You're going to get some good stuff. Now, as far as your Kickstarters and how you're putting the book out to the public, how has it been, man? How has the Kickstarter experience been? The crowdfunding experience been? Have you found it challenging? Was it hard? Is it getting easier now? Well, what's been like?
I mean, it's getting easier in the sense that like I didn't. So I started on this website, Fund My Comic, and I had always plans to use everything. I'm mostly centered on Kickstarter now with 3. I'm not even sure if I want to use it this time, which is going to be weird because that's really where I started and made the most. But I realized people are backing me for me generally. And also it's just with a 4th issue, they don't have add-ons. And as a 4th issue, first 1, 2, 3 made it tough. It got harder and harder with adding all these possible reward tiers. And so I kind of just decided, I think I'm going to stick with it. And that's the tough part because I love Luke Stone. Love him. He's been great to me. I'm just not sure if I want to do it on there. I think I'm going to stick. Also, I have less time now. I'm doing more cons. Now that I actually have Phenomenova is in the book, I'm getting to more cons than ever. I'm really going all out. I was playing it safe towards the beginning of last year, and now I'm like, nah, I got this. And
I saw you. I saw you at I think it was Pittsburgh. I think it was Steel
Pittsburgh, yeah,
City.
Steel City.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, you've been killing it as far as like going to these conventions and really
Mhm.
hitting the convention circuit. Like you've been doing incredible. How has that been? Are you? I spoke to you
It's less
briefly
time
there. You said
refreshing the Kickstarter. It means less time
right,
posting. Sometimes it could result in less backers, but
yeah,
if the sales overall are better, you
right,
know,
right.
whatever. As long as I'm making enough. And here's the thing: I will say I had the biggest launch I've had, and especially in terms of backer numbers.
Right.
I think it was about the same amount as issue one, but it was more backer numbers. I had 100 backers in the first couple hours. And so in that respect, my numbers are going up. Let's see if I finish. But here's the thing: this is going to be a shorter campaign because the book is already colored. It's
Yeah,
already
yeah,
colored.
yeah.
Um, just as the campaign's wrapping up, and then I'm gonna send it probably to my editor to check this script dialogue before I send it, so that way you don't letter and then we change the script.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Now,
another thing we've learned too. We've learned,
yeah,
hey, Vaughan, this back and forth is taking like, and I've learned, my editor has taught me, has been like, all right, you're making me revise all these versions. Pick a version you want me to edit and send, and so I've learned to streamline the process. There was a lot of back and forth with issue one. There's less and less of it, or if there are back and forth, they're more direct, they're more
yeah,
focused, they're more productive. They're less of the I don't know, it's my baby. Now I'm like, all right, I got it. They can take care of me. They've taken care of me before.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Big shout out to Steven. What's up, Steve? How you doing, my man?
uh,
Here we go. Niobe Kickstarter is king. And thank you, Steve. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You know what I've noticed though, and this is what I love about like the collaboration, the collaborative process is I've seen your growth as a writer. I think some of
mhm.
those back and forths were like you were saying, I don't know. Now you're a lot more confident and this is good. This is what's going to work. At first,
Yeah.
it was more like, well, what do you think? Do you think we should do this? And
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
used to ask everyone everything. What do
right.
you think? What do you
Yeah.
think? And now I'm kind of like, I know. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes I no, actually that's not true. I still ask people.
And that's
Even today
okay.
I did it. But
Yeah.
I'm more confident. And
Right.
I'm you know why I'm more confident? Because I'm better. You
Mhm.
know why I was unconfident? Because I didn't know, well, because I'm normally confident as a person, but like I shouldn't have been because I didn't know what I was doing. Now
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know what I'm doing.
Right.
So
Right. No.
so I feel
And
better.
you so
And my issues are better with each one. I think
yeah.
each one is
No,
better than the last.
they
Three, I
are.
think, is by far my best one.
And you surrounded yourself, I think, with a strong group of people. And I'm not. I mean, present.
You
I'm
are
not. I'm
one of
not
them.
included.
No, you
I'm not
are.
including myself. But I'm
All right,
just
well,
saying,
I will. I'm going to
like,
insert you in the group whether you want it or not.
but like your art team, dude, like your art team. And I know that it's hard to keep the team together. And I know that you had to change the colors from one issue to the other.
And then
But
we're back to him. But it was just a deadline thing with 2 and 3. And I had to learn to adapt. That was one of the things I learned is you have to
right,
adapt. Sorry, I
yeah,
didn't mean
yep.
to.
Find somebody else, boom, get it done. But I think that you barely see the difference. If somebody didn't hear me say this, they probably wouldn't even realize that had
Yeah.
happened because it was seamless. It was seamless that way. I do want to share the campaign while I have you on, and let's go through it together so you guys can see what Phenomenova
Thank
looks.
God it came back up.
I know, dude. I was like, what are we gonna do? All right, here it is.
This has been driving me crazy. It's been slow crawling today. And I'm like, come on, we're so close to 9,000. We're so close to 300 backers.
We are. So the campaign ends May 7th, which is tomorrow at 3:37 p.m.
20 hours. So we have like less than a day. And here's the thing, this is going to be a pretty fast. Don't expect the last couple campaigns, it was a couple months that it was in like the in-demand phase. Not this time.
Right.
This time, it should be. I'm hoping to have it sent to the printer, which means next week, hopefully, we can start lettering. Possibly. I don't know what your availability is this weekend.
Well, I will be at Oakland Comic Con this weekend.
Okay, so next
but I'll be
weekend
back.
then.
Yeah.
All right. So I will be running late pledges, Naomi, but not for a long period of time because
was that one of the questions?
my goal with these campaigns is get it funded, get it in backers' hands as soon as possible, onto the next book. Backers' hands, the next one, onto the next book. And so that is my goal. So get those pledges in now so we can get the artwork, get everything done. Is because we're going to, George is going to start lettering next week. And once that stuff is done, which means I have to reach out to some people. So as soon as these things are in, Like as soon as the pledges are in, I'm gonna act like everything's ready and make sure we've got the credits page and everything together off to the printer so I can immediately start getting return on investment because I have cons to go to.
Yeah,
So,
that's the other thing. So big shout out to Steve who loves the artwork.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, my artists kill
and
it.
I
man.
agree. I agree. It's beautiful. So these are the 4 covers. The 4. I mean, yeah, the 4 main covers. Right. So you have
The
cover
variants
A,
are on my
A,
website right now, and they'll be available at cons. But those are going, man. What I do with my variant covers, they're campaign limited. So if you back the campaign, you're guaranteed to get it.
Right.
You back any tier, you're guaranteed. I'll print enough to fulfill the campaign. A little extra because you always have to print a little extra. And then whatever is left, I sell for a higher price at cons and on my website until they're gone. And I don't want to hear you complaining. Oh, I didn't know. You did know if you're watching the stream. You did know. So all these covers are going to go up in price, or they might be gone by the end of the campaign. Because sometimes you have to send a couple. Some get lost in the mail, some get damaged. Backers come first, and then whatever's left over, I'll sell at cons at double price or on my website until they're gone. And then you'll have the main. But even then, if I'm considering going to a trade, I don't know how long those, we'll see.
They'll be around. Yeah. Now this was a fun cover. I remember when you sent it to me, you have the homage to Uncanny X-Men number 176 by John Romita Jr. And this thing came out phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, so that's the one cover George didn't do the layout for for all of them. Because I think we were debating how do we want to go about it, and you were like, I don't know, I forget how exactly did it go, but I think Bobby, I just sent it to Bobby who did the artwork. He goes, screw it, I'll just draw it. I'm like, all right. And X-Men is 4 letters. He did an 11-letter word, and he made it seamless.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It looks great. It's still legible. You know what I mean? The Uncanny Phenomenova. It really worked as an homage. I think you guys did a phenomenal job.
And my homage covers are always related to the issue. Like one of my friends, because there's only one Final Fantasy VII cover left for issue 1 on my website. Only one of them left because I was at a gaming con and I sold a bunch there. And I will say one of the things about that is it's always relevant to whatever's in the issue. I don't just do an homage cover. And then it's not relevant. Like, okay, so there is a tentacle robot that grabs her. It was underwater, so we considered not having it be underwater, but we were like, yeah, but that's such a cool part of that. And also it looks
it's
cool.
part of the
so
homage.
Like, screw it.
It looks phenomenal. Yeah, it looks good.
Plus there's an underwater scene. So we're like, yeah, it's a merger. Sure, whatever intellectual reason I'll give.
This is one of my favorites here. Ken Marion is killing it, bro. He's killing it.
He's a good friend of mine. He's a fan of the series, which meant it was good. So this and the main cover were actually both going to be kind of issue 3 covers in a way. So the first one was the original thumbnail for the issue 3 cover. And I said, save that for issue 4 because then everyone's going to be together in issue 4 because 3, some of those characters that are really on that cover are barely in it. I wanted to show the main team, Phenomenova, center around those 4 in the heat of battle with that. Right. So that's where I had him draw that. Fun fact, the issue 5 cover is also rejected issue 3 cover that I repurposed for issue 5. But I said, no, I need that. And then he came up with that dynamite cover. So then this one, V was originally going to do one of the covers to 3. And deadline-wise, it didn't work out. But I was like, I'm going to have you draw the team. He was like, I wanted to draw your main character. I was like, well, when V wants to draw one of my characters, excited to. And he goes, no, I can draw. And I'm like, no. I want what you're excited for. You want to draw cool electricity? My blonde, you're the man. And I'm glad it didn't work out because this cover is such dynamite because it's Galvanite's return.
Right.
Like he's in 3, but he's kind of feeling bad. 3, 4 is like, this is his chance. He's in the heat of battle. We're going to actually get to see him possibly get things right this time. You have to read the issue to find out, but he's at least now coming back after training with intent. So it was like that triumphant return with V's cover is so cool. And this one is actually like possibly as popular as the main cover.
Yeah, this looked great, man. Like,
then it was so popular that I decided to add a holofoil version. I'm like, screw it. You guys want?
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. That's awesome, dude. Oh, there it is. Wow.
Yeah. So I normally comp. I'm just letting let you know I can comp the covers, except I'm not comping the holofoil.
No
you want the holofoil, you got it back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll comp the rest.
I agree. I agree, and I understand completely. You know what? Also, like holofoils are funny, not funny, but it's like it's hard to really show you what it's actually going to look like in just like an image like this. But for some reason, this looks dope just like this.
Yeah,
Bro.
you know what's funny too is that's probably not what it's going to finally look like, but it's like representative of what it could look like.
Yeah.
You know, so I just kind of threw like a possible filter, but I'm going to have like a colorist adjust it as it needs to be adjusted to make it work.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And then you have this cover here.
That was the 48-hour cover, but here's the thing. If you back all of the covers, the all covers bundle which includes the hollow foil, you can still get that cover. Otherwise, you can't. You can't get it on its own or as an add-on, but you can get it as part of any of the bundles that include all of the covers.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. And so same thing for the hollow foils, right?
Well, the hollow foil you can get on its own.
Yeah. Okay, you can. All right, gotcha.
Or so you can get it. And then that's the back cover.
Oh, this one. Yeah. You always do like the black and white. This
yeah, it started off because my friend was like, what do you want to do for the back cover? I'm like, I didn't really think of it. So we did the blood strike homage. And at first I was like, yeah, but I want it to be colorful because my series is colorful. He draws it up. We're about to get it colored. I'm like, nah, fine. You won me over. Yeah. And then I'm like, all right. And then the next issue comes and he's like, hey, I have it. I threw him some cover ideas and he goes, I want to do him looking at the grave. I'm like, that didn't happen plot wise, but I'm like, thematically it works. He draws that and I'm like, or leave that grayscale. And we're like, all right, you know what? From now on, they're always grayscale.
They're all grayscale.
And the third cover she comes up with, and it's this somber thing.
Yep.
Now, this one I feel like could work colored.
It could. But I like the theme
of Force punching Miles, and I didn't get to do that for the front. So when I saw her give me a bunch of sample thumbnail layouts, originally it was going to be Vivacity's origin, but this I like better. And I ended up doing that.
Dan, what's up, my brother? How you doing? Hey, yo, that hollow is fire. It is, Steve. That thing is dope. I will get it on its own. There you go, Mike. All right, let me see what else we got here. So this is the back interiors. So these are some of the interior pages. I'm telling you, your artist is killing it. The colorist is doing. Now the penciler is also the inker, right? You don't have a separate inker. It's inks, right?
Same.
Yeah. Some of these interiors, dude. Like, you guys always bring it, man. Always bring it, dude. This stuff looks great. Look at that.
Thank you.
Now this is a double splash, right? Right here.
Yeah, there was a lot of them in this. So if you'll notice, George, you'll notice in my script that I started to kind of go like, I used to be like it's got to be particular. Now I'm kind of like, all right, like we'll start here and then end here. Here are the panels. Here's what I want you to say. If you want to combine this, that's fine. Just blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And as long as it gets the point across. And I used to be like, no, it has to be this way. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, I mean, you could have it like spread across the top, and then he actually has it on the side, and then everything else. Like I was thinking this on the top, this when I lay it out, but I'm less particular about that now because I know he's going to have it. Later.
That looks great. That's the creative team. That's all of us there. Great group of people, man. Good job with that. You had a fan art contest.
I still have it actually. It says it's a little long because I didn't get as many submissions as I wanted right away because I wasn't promoting it properly, really. And so I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna say a week from today is probably when I'll shut it down. So if you guys want to enter, you have the chance of winning a copy of the main cover if you win the fan art contest. I haven't heard a response from the guy who won the first 3 contests. He hasn't submitted. He's probably done. He's like, you know what, he's probably, all right, I've said my piece. I was hoping he could come back, and because part of me, I love him to death. Part of me wants to see him do, because if the same guy, if we're on issue 20 and the same guy's winning, people be like, all right, let's But he's not around this time. Nice. So if you guys want to submit quickly, I'm going to give you guys about a week to draw something, submit it, and make sure to post the hashtag Phenomenova fan art. And that way, when I'm looking through whatever social media platforms you want, I'll make sure to, share it out, whatever. But that way we have a chance. You might have a chance.
Yeah, no, I think this is good. And this stuff gets printed inside the book, or?
Yes, it gets printed inside the book, and you get comped a copy with the main cover.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Phenomenova issue 1 as an add-on. Lightning Strikes, 68-page first issue. So you get that. You can get that separate. You can get all of them, right? I guess as add-ons at this point. There's issue 2. That's a dope cover. I always like that cover.
Issue 2, yeah, that's I screwed myself over because I have all these variants. Normally the variants sell fast. The issue 2 cover is so cool, and it's $10. People are like, why would I pay for the $20 variant? So those aren't selling yet. No, I'm kidding. They do sell. They sell decently the variant, but I feel like I sell the least of the issue 2. I noticed that is the most eye-catching cover at cons of the 3.
Yeah, this one's really good.
Yeah.
That's issue 3. That's the issue 3 cover.
I love all the covers though.
Yeah, man. I love that.
Do you have a favorite of the 4?
Of the 4, this one.
That one, yeah, that one's cool. That one was the one. So the first cover, I knew from the instant I created the book what I wanted that main cover to look like, and he drew it perfectly. Like,
really? That's cool.
It was perfect. Nice. I had him do a couple of extra versions where he's screaming over the crystal, whatever. But what he drew initially was what I had in mind. But I was in that phase where I want to see variations of everything. Now I'm not at that point. Now I'm like, I see it, I like it, we go.
You know? Are you ever going to go into? I mean, and I don't think I've seen his costume, like his final costume design. But are you going to include the arrow going down here and the colors that he's wearing in?
No,
this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That was, if I do, it would be an unplanned thing, because even the arrow, I was like, I don't know, just he draws something, and he just drew me like the makeshift costume. The fact that it was blue, even that wasn't in the original design. It was the trading card artist was like, what color is he? Because it was a black and white character design, and I had in my script that it was gray or whatever because I wanted it to be boring, generic, and I was like, what do you think? And she threw me a bunch of color schemes. I was like, actually, let's go with the blue. That was unplanned. And that was where I started to learn to give the artist leeway. Also, that cover was not going to feature that costume. It was going to feature the new costume. But I'm like, so we got to design that before we do the issue 2 cover. He goes, no, I have an idea for the issue 2 cover. He pitches me that idea where she's killing the version from issue 1. I'm like,
that works.
Heavy.
That works.
Really cool cover. And so we went with it.
It worked. Mini print of the Phenomenova issue number 4 opening splash page.
Yeah, that splash page is so cool. I'm like, it's cover quality. I'm like, all right, mini print. I'm going to make more money off of it. I like that.
This is awesome. Yeah, this is awesome. And so this is the costume. This is what the design looks like.
My influences, like Claremont, like the opening splash page is such a great pacing thing too. It's like an image gets your attention, and then we're back. And that's and so now I almost always write with it. Except 3, I did like a page before it, but even still, it worked.
Yeah, no, but it works because it's on a
which sometimes comics do. Like there's that X Factor issue where it's the Mutant Massacre, where it's like. Then it builds into that splash, double page splash where they're all just getting slaughtered.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sometimes you do that.
Yeah, no, it looks. I like the way you did that one. Here goes Indie Comics at super speed.
1 second, I gotta turn a light on. It got dark. Be right back. Yeah, that is a collaboration between one of my friends who's an editor at the Ripperverse. Has his speedster John's long box. He has his character Go Getter. And Galvanite. We were like, let's just do that. And they're running past the Roadrunner. So we were like, let's do that as a mini print if you guys want to add it on. So 1 second, I'll be right back.
Go for it. Yeah, this looks great. For those who are watching, make sure that you go into the chat. Hey, I'm gonna put the link in the chat so you guys can check out the campaign. There's only 19 hours left of the campaign.
And if we're basically one back, unless you get the digital for $5, which is fine, but we're basically like a backer away from passing 9,000.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
I'm hoping to hit 10K by the end of the campaign. We'll see if we get there.
Yeah, no, I mean, your campaigns have been doing phenomenal, dude. I think you've been doing really good with these campaigns. Here we go. Let's go back to where we were. This cover was dope too. Issue 3.
Yeah, there's only a handful. I decided while there's some still left at the fulfillment center that haven't been shipped to me, I figured some of those issue 3 covers, let's throw them on the issue 4 campaign and then if you guys get them, they ship right out to you. I don't even, Yeah. Yes, sir. Love to support. There you go. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah, this is dope here. This one was cool too. I remember when you sent me this and the idea for the Bring on the Bad Guys. Yeah, he wrote that himself, the artist.
Yeah, that was great. That came out really nice. This is the other option. This was good, and this came in two colors, right?
Yeah, there was the other one because she gave me 2 color schemes. I was like, screw it, I'm like both of these. I'm gonna make one of them 48 hours, and then it ended up selling really well.
Yeah. This came out really nice. I mean, all of it, dude.
And then some of the original artwork you could see. So we did the Phenomenova separately with the original artwork. Some of the original artwork is for sale.
Oh, that's dope.
That one. Then the issue 2 back cover. The issue 3 cover. That's Bobby's artwork.
That's nice.
Then that issue 3 cover right there.
Yep. This is awesome.
Yeah, that one
Oh
right
wow.
there.
Yeah. Nice. So this is all for sale.
Yeah, so Vatican City. I don't know if you guys saw the Mark Millar stuff. That's
Mhm.
this artist is who did that cover, and there's actually an
Oh.
unused Vatican City page that he drew it on the back of.
Oh.
So you get a double pieces of art if you back that.
So this is on the back of this.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's great. Stretch goals, 20K. This is dope.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's the campaign, man. But
There we
you're
go.
killing it, bro. You are
Thank you.
killing it, dude. I freaking love it. There's nothing. I love to see, like, you know, especially guys like you who are putting in the work, find the success you're finding, man. And I think you're doing an incredible job with the book itself. Now, the scripts. How many scripts have you written? You've written, you said nine?
9.
Nine.
And then I have plans for way more. And I would love to eventually start doing like short stories and anthologies where I hire other creators, but I got to make sure I pay myself
Yeah.
first before. But I would love to, for example, I always ask, like, George, I was like, who would you, if you'd write any character, who would you do? Because I would love to eventually do like a Phenomenova. You know, they had like Marvel Comics Presents, or they'd even have, it sounds weird, they're like Detective Comics 1000 and all of those. I would love to eventually just start doing short stories or get a bunch. But first, I want people to care about my characters enough to want that.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, I have ideas for tons down the line, including spin-offs, origin stories for characters. I'd love to do a Crusader Corps prequel, but I'm really, people are like, I really want it. I'm like, let's make Phenomenova a big enough hit where it garners a prequel that I'm getting. Like, once I know, like, this is because committing, I want to make sure when I do a World War III prequel story that I go all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in on Phenomenova. I want to go further in on Phenomenova, and then guys can get that.
Yeah. No, I think you're going about it the right way. And I love the fact that it's, are you finding, obviously you're finding growth in the campaigns. Are you seeing, you mentioned it earlier, you're seeing more backers now than you did before?
We'll see by the end of the campaign, but I will say the
Okay.
rate of backers on launch day, absolutely, people are anticipating it more.
Got it.
So my returning fan base is growing. Because in other words, like in issue 1, everyone was backing the idea of Phenomenova. We're seeing quicker, people want it more, people want Phenomenova more. I'm getting more fans in general. So the rate of backers has been faster. Although it's the last 48 hours has been slower than I expected. But the rate of backers, especially when I launched, is showing, okay, these are people that are really bought in, that really want it.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Now, you did mention you know you're hitting conventions. Where are you going to be next?
Next one, I'm going to be at Seacon in Seabright, New Jersey, which is like right by me. So that's an easy commute.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be at, I might have a week off, depending, unless I get into one I'm waitlisted in. But then I'm going to be at Thy Geekdom Con in Oaks, Pennsylvania, which is a small one. And then I'm going to be at Denver Fan Expo with Henri,
Cool.
followed by Phoenix Fan Fusion, followed by Heroes Con, Garden State Comic Fest, possibly a small anime fest in Albany. I'm going to be at Anime Matsuri and Bell County in Texas. I'm going to be going all over.
Wow, good for you, dude. Yeah, you're really expanding, and I love that. Are you going to be at Terrificon this year?
Oh yeah, Terrificon
Yeah,
is
good.
my favorite. I make
Yeah,
sure
I love
to
Terrificon.
make
I
a
love
point of going to
Terrificon.
Terrificon.
Yeah, Terrificon's a fun show, man. It's a fun
Great
show.
show.
But yeah, Vaghn, this has been amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming on. And finally, we got to talk a little bit about your process and what you're doing. So looking forward to issue number 4
I'll
for
get
those
you on
watching.
mine when the time's right.
Yeah. Make sure you guys check out the campaign. Remember, there's only 19 hours left now at this point. 19 hours left. You're at 89.84. You've surpassed your goal already. But I say this every time I do these shows. Just because the person reached their goal doesn't mean that they're going to get all
the
of
goal
that money.
is that's like, give me at least this amount.
But not only that, like
cry.
That's
what the goal is.
That
it's not like actually their goal.
Yeah, and also sometimes what you see there, the number you see there, is not what we get at the end of the campaign. Because
it's including shipping, the fees, the printing.
Yeah.
Usually we don't get anything. That's the truth.
No, yeah. But also at the end of the campaign, sometimes some pledges drop off. So you may see that Vaughan made $9,000, but then by the time the money gets collected, he's only made 7. Yeah, I mean, which
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen at all. But yeah, so make sure you keep pledging. Tell your friends, share the campaign. 19 hours left. This is where it
Yeah.
gets good. But yeah, brother. So where can they get the books outside of the Kickstarter campaign, outside of finding you at a show?
RebelOasisStudios.com. You go here, join my email list. That'll keep you up to date on all things Phenomenova. Issues 1 through 3 are on Global Comics right now. Obviously, that's another thing. Kickstarter backers do get it first, even digitally. Like as soon as it's available digitally, everyone, including physical backers, gets it. And then, so you guys get it first if you back. So
awesome. Well, Vaughan, thank you very much, my friend, and thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this bad boy, and support Vaughan. We will see you guys soon. Peace.
See you guys.